Welcome, everyone, to our channel. Have you ever found yourself simply floating through life, where one day blurs seamlessly into the next, lacking any clear sense of direction? You wake up, go to work, come home, and repeat that cycle, rarely pausing to ask, where am I truly going with all this? What do I genuinely want to achieve? If that question resonates deeply with you, if you felt that quiet unease about the trajectory of your personal journey, then today's video has been tailor-made just for you. We are about to embark on an insightful journey, exploring a powerful philosophy from the legendary figure in personal development, Jim Rohn, which is succinctly captured in his timeless advice: stop living day by day, start designing your life. Jim Rohn, a master communicator and a true titan of personal growth, often emphasized that life isn't just a haphazard sequence of random events that we merely react to. He famously posited that life is, in fact, a grand construction project, and within this magnificent undertaking, each of us holds the pivotal role of the architect. Yet, if we are truly honest with ourselves, many of us, perhaps unknowingly, are living in a remarkably passive mode. We find ourselves waiting for good things to magically happen, or perhaps we idly hope that circumstances will somehow improve on their own, without any active intervention from our side. This passive, wait-and-see attitude, however, is precisely the most significant impediment to profound personal development and the attainment of lasting success. It stifles innovation in our personal lives and keeps us tethered to routines that may no longer serve our highest potential. The act of living day by day isn't just a benign state of being. It's a quiet but potent surrender of your inherent power to actively shape your future. It means accepting whatever life throws your way, often with a sigh of resignation, rather than proactively and purposefully creating the life you envision and desire. This isn't merely a path that leads to stagnation or a lack of progress. It frequently culminates in a pervasive sense of emptiness, a gnawing feeling of being adrift, and a profound absence of purpose. You might go through the motions, tick off tasks, and even achieve certain metrics society deems successful, but if these actions aren't anchored to a larger, intentionally designed vision, they often leave you feeling unfulfilled, much like a ship sailing without a destination, simply carried by the currents. The real danger here lies in the subtle erosion of self-efficacy and the gradual dimming of your internal spark, as you defer the helm of your existence to external forces, believing somehow that destiny or luck will eventually guide you to where you should be, without your conscious input. This abdication of responsibility subtly diminishes your sense of agency and robs you of the deep satisfaction that comes from conscious creation. So, how exactly do we break free from this often unseen yet limiting cycle of aimless living and courageously begin the transformative process of designing our life? Jim Rohn consistently underscored the paramount importance of a crystal-clear vision. He would challenge us to pause, reflect, and vividly imagine what your ideal life would look like 5 years, or even 10 years, from now. What specific achievements do you aspire to reach in your career, your financial standing, the quality of your relationships, your physical health and vitality, and indeed, your personal growth and intellectual expansion? Setting clear, specific, measurable, and time-bound goals isn't just a preliminary step. It is, in fact, the foundational and most critical action you can take. These aren't just fanciful dreams or abstract desires. Rather, they are concrete milestones, tangible markers that you can clearly visualize, effectively measure your progress against, and actively strive towards with unwavering dedication. Jim Rohn firmly believed that true success isn't some elusive mystery reserved for a select few, nor is it merely a stroke of luck that befalls the fortunate. Instead, he taught that it is the natural, inevitable outcome of consistently applying fundamental principles and taking deliberate, focused action over time. It's the result of planting seeds purposefully and nurturing them daily, rather than scattering them randomly and merely hoping for a bountiful harvest. This deliberate shift from merely existing to intentionally designing requires a fundamental reorientation of our perspective and a willingness to embrace radical personal responsibility. It's about moving beyond simply coping with daily demands to actively thriving, creating a life that feels authentic and deeply aligned with your deepest values and aspirations. Most people, without realizing it, live by default. They react to circumstances, follow the path of least resistance, and allow external factors to dictate their direction, often feeling powerless in the process. But designing your life means consciously choosing the path of intention and purpose. It means stepping into the role of the master creator of your reality, much like an architect meticulously plans every single detail of a building long before the first brick is even considered. An architect doesn't just show up on a construction site hoping for the best outcome. They arrive armed with comprehensive blueprints, precise specifications, and a crystal-clear end goal in mind. Similarly, designing your life involves creating those detailed blueprints for your own unique existence. It's a profound process that demands honest introspection, astute foresight, and an unwavering commitment to yourself and to the magnificent future you envision. It's about understanding that every single decision, every action you take, no matter how seemingly small or insignificant, actively contributes to the overall edifice of your life. Are those contributions accidental, haphazard, or are they deliberate, strategic steps perfectly aligned with a grander, well-thought-out design? Jim Rohn's philosophy empowers you to understand that you are not a passive leaf being aimlessly blown about by the capricious winds of change. Instead, you are the skilled captain of your own magnificent ship, entirely capable of charting a precise course, expertly navigating through any storms or challenges, and ultimately reaching your desired destination with unwavering resolve. This isn't just abstract theoretical wisdom. It's a supremely practical, actionable framework for living a life of profound purpose, deep meaning, and immense fulfillment. It requires a resolute commitment to continuous learning, disciplined action, and an unwavering belief in your own inherent capacity to create something truly extraordinary. By wholeheartedly adopting this powerful mindset, you begin to transform your perception of challenges, seeing them not as insurmountable roadblocks but as invaluable opportunities to refine your design, strengthen your resolve, and apply your foundational principles even more effectively. It's an ongoing, dynamic process of refinement and growth, not a static, one-time event. The inherent beauty and ultimate liberation of this approach is that it puts the power squarely and undeniably back into your hands, transforming you from a passive observer of your life into its active, engaged, and incredibly powerful creator. This journey begins right now, with a single, intentional thought. This journey begins right now, with a single, intentional thought. It's the thought that you are more than just a passenger in your own life. You are the architect, the builder, the visionary. This foundational concept, championed by the legendary Jim Rohn, is perhaps the most liberating and empowering truth you can embrace. It implies a conscious shift from merely reacting to life's circumstances to proactively shaping them, moving from a default existence to a deliberate design. This is not about wishful thinking, but about strategic, committed engagement with your own future. To truly design your life, as Jim Rohn urged, you must first cultivate a crystal-clear vision. What does your ideal life look like 5 years from now? What about 10 years? This isn't just a vague hope or a fleeting daydream. This is about sitting down with purpose, perhaps with a pen and paper, and meticulously outlining the contours of your desired existence across every significant area. Consider your career. What level of achievement do you aspire to? What impact do you want to make? What kind of work truly ignites your passion? Think about your financial freedom. What does security look like? What wealth do you want to build? What experiences do you want to afford? Reflect on your relationships. How do you envision your connections with family, friends, and a partner evolving, deepening, and enriching your life? Ponder your health and well-being. What physical vitality do you desire? What mental clarity do you seek? How will you nurture your emotional resilience? And finally, consider your personal growth. What new skills will you acquire? What knowledge will you gain? How will you expand your consciousness and character? Jim Rohn often emphasized that success isn't some mysterious, elusive phenomenon reserved for a select few. Instead, he articulated it as the natural consequence of consistently applying fundamental principles. Your vision, therefore, isn't a fantasy, it's a blueprint. It's a set of specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound milestones that you can actively work towards. Without this blueprint, without these clearly defined destinations, you're simply drifting, hoping that favorable currents will somehow carry you to a desirable shore. But a master architect doesn't just hope for a beautiful building. They design it with precision, piece by meticulous piece. You must become that architect for your own life, understanding that every choice, every action, every investment of your time and energy is a brick laid in the foundation of your future. To translate this vision into reality, Jim Rohn highlighted 3 indispensable pillars. The first, and arguably the most crucial, is personal development. He famously declared, "Work harder on yourself than you do on your job." This profound statement encapsulates the philosophy that your external world is largely a reflection of your internal world. If you want a better job, a bigger income, stronger relationships, or greater impact, you must first become a better person. This isn't about arrogance, it's about investment. It means committing to a relentless pursuit of knowledge, skill acquisition, and mindset refinement. It means dedicating time each day to reading books that expand your perspective, enrolling in courses that sharpen your abilities, or seeking out mentors whose wisdom can guide your path. It's about understanding that you cannot solve problems with the same level of thinking that created them. Your personal growth is not just a nice to have. It is the engine that drives all other progress. When you grow, everything in your life grows with you. You become more capable, more resilient, more resourceful, and ultimately, more valuable to the world around you. This consistent investment in yourself is the ultimate competitive advantage, a wellspring of potential that never runs dry, steadily increasing your capacity to achieve the extraordinary life you're designing. The second pillar is time management and discipline. Time, Jim Rohn frequently reminded us, is our most precious and finite asset. Unlike money, which can be earned and lost and earned again, time, once spent, is gone forever. This understanding imbues every minute with profound significance. To design your life effectively, you must become a master of your time. This involves more than just having a to-do list. It requires a conscious effort to plan and prioritize activities that directly contribute to your defined vision and goals. Ask yourself regularly, is this activity moving me closer to my desired future, or is it merely consuming my present? Learn to ruthlessly eliminate or delegate tasks that don't serve your ultimate purpose. Mastering the art of saying no to distractions, to commitments that don't align with your blueprint, is a vital skill. Discipline, in this context, is not about harsh self-deprivation, but rather the consistent application of small, intentional actions. It is the bridge between your aspirations and their eventual realization. Jim Rohn beautifully illustrated the compounding effect of these daily disciplines, comparing them to seeds planted over time that yield a magnificent harvest. A few minutes spent reading each day, a consistent effort at skill practice, a disciplined approach to managing your finances. These seemingly insignificant daily choices accumulate into monumental results over weeks, months, and years. This isn't about dramatic overnight shifts, but about the quiet, unwavering power of consistent effort. It's the daily decision to show up, to put in the work, even when motivation wanes, knowing that each small step, however mundane it may feel in the moment, is propelling you towards the life you've designed. The third, and equally powerful, pillar is responsibility and action. Jim Rohn's teachings consistently underscored the absolute necessity of taking 100% responsibility for your life. This means letting go of the tendency to blame circumstances, other people, or even fate for your current situation. While external factors undeniably exist, true empowerment comes from recognizing that your response to those factors, and your subsequent actions, are entirely within your control. When you fully internalize that you are the sole architect of your destiny, a tremendous shift occurs. You stop waiting for things to happen to you and start making things happen for you. This ownership unleashes an incredible surge of intrinsic motivation and power. Knowledge, as valuable as it is, remains theoretical until it is applied. Jim Rohn often said, "Don't let your learning lead to knowledge. Let your learning lead to action." It's not enough to know what you should do. You must actually do it. This means breaking down your grand vision into concrete, actionable steps, no matter how small they seem. Take that first step, then the next, and the next. Don't fall into the trap of perfectionism, waiting for the perfect moment or the perfect plan. Imperfect action will always trump perfect inaction. Embrace the iterative process. Act, observe the results, learn from them, adjust your approach, and act again. This continuous cycle of learning and doing is how you bring your design to life. It's how you navigate challenges, adapt to unforeseen obstacles, and steadily build the future you envision, one deliberate, responsible action at a time. The path won't always be smooth, but with a clear plan, unwavering self-development, disciplined execution, and a profound sense of personal responsibility, you possess the power to overcome any difficulty and steer your life precisely where you intend it to go. This proactive approach ensures that your happiness is not a distant, postponed reward, but an integral part of the present design process, continuously shaped by your intentional choices. This proactive approach ensures that your happiness is not a distant, postponed reward, but an integral part of the present design process, continuously shaped by your intentional choices. It's about understanding that the act of designing itself, the conscious effort to articulate your desires and then to systematically work towards them, brings a profound sense of purpose and fulfillment into your daily existence. Many people mistakenly believe that happiness awaits them at the summit of their achievements, a prize to be collected once all goals are met. But Jim Rohn offered a more nuanced and empowering perspective. Happiness is cultivated in the journey, woven into the fabric of your deliberate actions and the clarity of your vision. It is the joy found in consistent growth, in learning, in overcoming, and in knowing that you are the architect of your destiny, not merely a passenger in a randomly moving vehicle. This concept of continuous design transforms our perception of obstacles. Instead of viewing them as roadblocks that halt our progress, we begin to see them as integral parts of the construction process, challenges that refine our blueprints and strengthen our resolve. Just as an architect might encounter unexpected geological conditions or material shortages, we too will face setbacks. But a designer doesn't abandon the project. They adapt, innovate, and find new solutions. This resilience is a cornerstone of Jim Rohn's philosophy, emphasizing that our capacity to overcome adversity is directly tied to our commitment to our personal vision. It's about developing the wisdom to learn from every experience, good or bad, and integrating those lessons into our evolving life design. Every failure then becomes not a reason to quit, but a critical data point, informing the next iteration of your design. To truly design your life, you must first possess an unwavering belief in your own capacity to create. Jim Rohn often spoke about the immense potential dormant within each individual, waiting to be unleashed through conscious effort and persistent application. This isn't about magical thinking. It's about harnessing the power of focused intention and consistent action. It requires a profound shift from a reactive mindset, waiting for life to happen to you, to a proactive stance, where you actively make life happen. Think of it as cultivating an internal locus of control, understanding that while you cannot always control external events, you absolutely control your response to them and, more importantly, your sustained effort in moving towards your chosen destination. This internal shift is where the true power of designing your life resides, giving you command over your emotional landscape and your strategic direction. One crucial aspect of this design process, often overlooked, is the cultivation of a rich inner life. Jim Rohn wasn't just about external achievements. He understood that true success and fulfillment spring from within. This means regularly taking time for introspection, understanding your values, clarifying your purpose beyond superficial desires, and nurturing your spiritual and emotional well-being. What kind of person do you want to become? What character traits do you wish to embody? These are questions fundamental to designing a life of substance and meaning. Your character is the foundation upon which your achievements are built, and investing in its strength and integrity is perhaps the most profound form of self-development. Without this inner clarity, even great external success can feel hollow, a grand structure built on shifting sand. Furthermore, designing your life necessitates a deep understanding of cause and effect, what Jim Rohn termed the philosophy of the harvest. You reap what you sow, and often, you reap more than you sow. This principle applies not just to financial gains but to every area of your existence. If you sow seeds of consistent self-improvement, disciplined effort, and positive relationships, you will inevitably harvest a life rich in opportunity and connection. Conversely, if you sow seeds of procrastination, neglect, and negativity, your harvest will reflect that. This isn't about judging past actions, but about empowering you to deliberately plant the right seeds today for the future you are designing. It encourages foresight, patience, and a long-term perspective, recognizing that significant results rarely manifest overnight but are the cumulative outcome of consistent, intentional input. The beauty of this design philosophy is its iterative nature. Your first design doesn't have to be perfect. In fact, it probably won't be. Life is not a static blueprint. It's a dynamic project that evolves with your growth, experiences, and changing circumstances. Jim Rohn encouraged constant review and adjustment. Regularly evaluate your progress, reassess your priorities, and refine your strategies. What's working? What isn't? What new information have you gained? What aspects of your vision need to be updated? This process of continuous iteration ensures that your life design remains relevant, responsive, and aligned with your deepest aspirations. It prevents stagnation and allows for growth, ensuring that your journey remains exciting and purposeful. This flexibility, combined with unwavering commitment to the overall vision, is the hallmark of a masterful life designer. Consider also the power of your environment in this design process. Jim Rohn famously said, "You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with." This extends beyond people to the books you read, the content you consume, and the physical spaces you inhabit. As a life designer, you are not merely a product of your environment. You are an active curator of it. Consciously choose to surround yourself with influences that uplift, challenge, and inspire you. Seek out mentors, join communities that foster growth, and intentionally create an environment that supports your chosen trajectory. This proactive environmental design reinforces your personal commitment, and makes the journey towards your designed future not only more effective but also more enjoyable. It's about building a supportive ecosystem for your dreams. Ultimately, stop living day by day. Start designing your life is an invitation to embrace full ownership of your existence. It is a powerful call to move beyond the passive acceptance of fate and step into the role of a conscious creator. Jim Rohn's enduring message is one of empowerment, reminding us that we possess the inherent ability to shape our world, starting with the world within us. This is not just about achieving material success, but about cultivating a life of meaning, impact, and profound personal satisfaction. A life that truly reflects who you aspire to be and what you intend to contribute. It's about leaving nothing to chance, meticulously crafting your legacy one intentional choice, one disciplined action, and one refined vision at a time. The power to design such a life rests entirely within your hands. This inherent power, however, often remains untapped, stifled by the insidious habit of living day by day. Many find themselves caught in a cycle, where each sunrise brings a familiar routine, and each sunset leaves them with a vague sense of unfulfillment, a persistent whisper that there should be more. This passive approach isn't merely benign, it's profoundly detrimental. It's akin to being an architect with a blank blueprint for a magnificent skyscraper, yet choosing to build haphazardly, adding bricks without a plan, hoping a cohesive structure will magically emerge. Jim Rohn, the master philosopher of personal development, passionately argued against this passivity, reminding us that life is not a sequence of random events we merely react to. It is a deliberate construction project, and we are its primary architects. To surrender to the daily grind without intentionality is to relinquish our most profound human capacity, the ability to shape our destiny. It leads not just to stagnation, but to a deeper, more pervasive sense of emptiness, a lack of purpose that erodes our spirit and diminishes our potential. We become bystanders in our own narratives, watching life unfold rather than actively authoring it. This mindset, unfortunately prevalent, is the biggest impediment to genuine personal growth and profound success. It's accepting what life delivers instead of proactively creating what we truly desire, perpetuating a cycle of mediocrity when extraordinary possibilities await. So, how do we break free from this aimless drift and truly begin to design our lives? Jim Rohn's wisdom starts with the absolute necessity of cultivating a clear, compelling vision. Imagine, for a moment, your ideal life 5, 10 years from now. What does it look like? What does it feel like? This isn't about fanciful daydreaming. It's about strategic foresight, a detailed mental blueprint for your future self. What milestones do you wish to achieve in your career, financially, within your relationships, regarding your health, and in your personal development? These aren't vague hopes. They are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound objectives. They are the cornerstones of your personal architecture, providing both direction and motivation. Rohn believed that success isn't some mystical, elusive phenomenon. It is, quite simply, the natural outcome of consistently applying fundamental principles. Without a clear vision, even the most diligent effort can be misdirected, like a ship sailing without a compass, perpetually at sea but never reaching a desired port. Your vision acts as that compass, guiding every decision, every action, every sacrifice, ensuring that your energy is invested in constructing the life you truly want, brick by intentional brick. It transforms abstract desires into concrete targets, making the seemingly impossible achievable through a series of deliberate, well-planned steps. To effectively design your life, Jim Rohn emphasized focusing on 3 crucial pillars. The first, and most foundational, is personal development. He famously declared, "Work harder on yourself than you do on your job." This profound statement isn't a dismissal of professional dedication. Rather, it's an elevation of self-investment as the ultimate driver of all other successes. It means actively cultivating your knowledge, refining your skills, and consciously shaping your mindset. Think of it as upgrading your internal operating system. How do you do this? By making learning a daily ritual. Read books, not just for entertainment, but for wisdom and insight. Enroll in courses that challenge your intellect and expand your capabilities. Seek out mentors, individuals who have walked the path you aspire to traverse, and learn from their triumphs and their missteps. Engage in continuous self-reflection, journaling your thoughts, evaluating your progress, and identifying areas for growth. When you grow, your life inherently expands to accommodate that growth. You cannot expect to solve complex problems with the same level of thinking that created them. Personal development equips you with new perspectives, innovative solutions, and the resilience to navigate inevitable challenges. It's the constant sharpening of your saw, ensuring that when opportunities arise, you possess the keen edge needed to seize them. This pillar underpins everything else. A more capable, knowledgeable, and emotionally intelligent you is better equipped to envision, plan, and execute. It's an investment with guaranteed, exponential returns, ensuring that as you evolve, so too does the quality and potential of your life. The second pillar Jim Rohn championed for designing an extraordinary life is time management and discipline. Time is our most equitable asset. Everyone receives the same 24 hours each day, yet how we choose to invest that time dictates the trajectory of our lives. Rohn urged us to become masters of our schedules, to meticulously plan and prioritize activities that propel us closer to our defined goals. This means consciously distinguishing between what's urgent and what's important, and then allocating our most valuable resource, our time, to the latter. Don't allow trivial tasks, endless distractions, or the demands of others to hijack your precious hours. Learn the empowering art of saying no to anything that doesn't align with your vision or contribute to your personal architecture. Discipline, in Rohn's view, isn't about punishment or deprivation. It's the conscious act of choosing what you want most over what you want right now. It is the crucial bridge between aspiration and accomplishment. These aren't grand, heroic gestures. Rather, they are the small, consistent, often unglamorous actions performed day in and day out. Think of the compound effect. Tiny, incremental improvements, sustained over time, accrue into monumental results. Getting up an hour earlier to focus on your most important task, dedicating 30 minutes to learning, consistently reaching out to expand your network, or diligently reviewing your financial plan each week, these seemingly minor acts, through the power of discipline, accumulate into significant breakthroughs. This consistent, deliberate application of effort is what safeguards your valuable time from being squandered on fleeting pleasures or unproductive busywork. Without discipline, even the clearest vision remains a distant dream, and the most robust personal development yields limited practical impact. It is truly the engine that transforms potential into reality, ensuring that your architectural blueprint is not just conceptualized, but actively constructed, one disciplined step at a time, moving you steadily toward the realization of your designed life. So, as we've explored, without discipline, even the clearest vision remains a distant dream. It is truly the engine that transforms potential into reality, ensuring your blueprint is actively constructed, one disciplined step at a time, moving you steadily toward your designed life. This journey of design, while powerful, is rarely without its challenges. Jim Rohn taught us that obstacles are not reasons to abandon our vision, but opportunities to refine strategies and strengthen your resolve. When you actively design your life, challenges become part of your narrative, forging capabilities and deepening understanding. They are not merely events to react to, but elements to incorporate into your masterpiece, strengthening its foundations. Remember Jim Rohn's profound insight: happiness is not something you postpone for the future, it is something you design for the present. This statement encapsulates our discussion today. It's about more than achieving distant goals. It's about finding fulfillment and purpose in daily pursuit of your highest self, and in conscious effort to shape each moment. By proactively designing your life, you're not just working towards a better tomorrow, you're building a more meaningful and joyful today. This sense of agency, of control over your direction, is a profound source of intrinsic happiness and deep contentment, regardless of external conditions. We've journeyed from merely living day by day to the empowering act of consciously designing your future. We've highlighted the necessity of a clear vision, commitment to personal development, the role of time management and self-discipline, and the power of 100% responsibility for your outcomes. These are not just abstract concepts, they are actionable principles that, when consistently applied, will fundamentally transform your existence. They are the tools and mindset empowering you to sculpt the life you truly desire, turning aspirations into tangible realities, living with purpose and direction. So, where do you begin? The answer is simple: right here, right now. Don't let another day drift by without intention. Take out a notebook, open a document, or simply sit quietly and reflect. What does your ideal life look like in 5, 10, or even 20 years? What are those specific, measurable goals in your career, finances, relationships, health, and personal growth? Start sketching that blueprint. Identify one small, disciplined action you can take today that aligns with your vision. It could be reading a book, setting a financial microgoal, or dedicating 15 minutes to planning your week. This isn't about perfection. It's about embracing progress, consistency, and the unwavering belief in your capacity to create. You possess the power to script your narrative, paint your canvas, and build the magnificent structure of your dreams. Stop merely existing. Stop reacting. Start designing. Start building. Start living the life you are meant to create. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope Jim Rohn's timeless wisdom has resonated with you and ignited purposeful action. If this video has inspired you to pick up your architectural tools and begin designing, please take a moment to hit that like button. Share this message with anyone who needs to hear it, anyone feeling adrift and searching for direction. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more insights and inspiration for your designed life. Your extraordinary future awaits. Begin crafting it, one intentional step at a time.